Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. We begin tonight with a developing story. A man arrested last month for a series of random attacks across Spokane is now being charged with murder. Sheriff's deputies say they found 37-year-old Gary Alt's DNA inside the home of a murdered Deer Park man. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is looking into the suspect's violent past. Kyle?
Well, Gary Alt is a 14-time convicted felon. Just days before this murder, police say Alt attacked several people at random, and at least one of those assaults was caught on camera. It was the day after Christmas when 83-year-old Richard Purdy was found murdered in his Deer Park home. His girlfriend stopped by to check on him when he didn't show up for dinner.
He was a nice guy. I mean, he helped me a couple times on a couple different things, projects that I had done. To think that he's gone now, unbelievable.
The Spokane County Medical Examiner says Purdy died from sharp and blunt force injuries. Witnesses reported seeing a man in the area carrying a bag, possibly walking a dog. But the big break in the case happened this week when detectives linked a DNA profile to a suspect, 37-year-old Gary Alt. They didn't have to look far to find him. Alt was already in the Spokane County Jail, arrested a day after the murder by Spokane police on unrelated charges. The sheriff's office says those charges stem from unrelated, unprovoked assaults on several victims days before the murder. Police say this video shows Alt bear spraying two women sitting on the ground, then kicking them in the head near Wall and Spokane Falls Boulevard on December 17th. Police say not long after, two other people sitting outside a business on Main Street were randomly punched. Later that day, another woman was also bear sprayed and kicked. Then on December 20th, 6 days before the murder, a man inside a bathroom at the North Spokane Target was attacked with a hammer. Alt was booked into jail December 27th for assault and unlawful possession of a firearm. Today, he was also charged with first-degree murder and burglary. And Alt's bond has been raised to more than $1.6 million. Right now, there's no indication he knew any of the victims, including this 83-year-old man he's accused of murdering. In the studio, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Kyle, thank you very much. Tomorrow, University of Idaho students will return to campus for the first day of spring semester. The suspect charged with the murders of 4 students will remain behind bars after a judge denied his bond last week. Now the university says the Moscow PD, Latah County Sheriff's deputies, and private security will all remain with a slight decrease in police patrols.
With the arrest happening very recently, we felt like we needed to keep that. It won't be quite the same as what it was in November and December.
Counseling services will continue for students. There are also more safety and security programs coming for students this semester, including self-defense classes that students have requested. In the meantime, a court hearing for the suspect has been moved up. A status conference hearing will now be held at 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. It was originally set for 10 a.m. To be clear, this is not when the suspect will enter a plea. This is typically an opportunity for the judge to make sure both sides are on track, working cooperatively, and are prepared for trial. After the status conference hearing, a preliminary hearing will be scheduled next, and that must happen within the next week and a half, and that's when the suspect will enter a plea of either not guilty or guilty. We will continue to bring you the very latest on the murder investigation right here on KREM 2. If you want more of our in-depth coverage so far, just text us the word Idaho to 509-448-2000 and we'll send a link directly to your phone. Plus, I'll verify if the suspect posted on Reddit asking for help researching why people commit crimes. We'll bring you that answer coming up in just about 10 minutes. Well, another round of numbers were drawn tonight for the Mega Millions lottery. Even though it was just a few hours ago, it's already been confirmed no winning ticket was sold tonight. The estimated prize has now gone up to $1.35 billion. In the meantime, people buying tickets aren't the only ones hoping to get rich off tonight's drawing. Scammers have reportedly been on the prowl right here in Washington. Legal Services with the Washington Lottery offered some insight on how to avoid getting scammed.
Someone does call you and they want your personal information, don't give it to them. If they want you to send money, it's absolutely illegitimate. No, we do not call you if we win. You have to tell us you win. You bring us a ticket and we will give you your money.
If you're getting calls or even emails like that, you can report them to the lottery in your state or to the Attorney General's office in your state. And now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. A new restaurant in Spokane has caused some speculation on social media about how much servers are being paid. Last week, new hires at the restaurant were told they were only being paid $4 an hour plus tips at the Yummy Crab there. Now the manager said he made that decision before fully understanding Washington law. He says since then he has updated his wage as soon as he learned the state's minimum.
I do apologize at the first, in the beginnings, we do misunderstanding the law and stuff, but we try to fix immediately.
Well, the manager is from Idaho, where tip servers only make $3.35 an hour. But in Washington, after the new year, restaurant servers are required to make at least $15.74 plus tips. Well, check it out. The Washington State Patrol posted photos of this jaw-dropping crash on I-90 in Spokane last night. The driver, who they identified as an impaired 23-year-old, lost control of his car and crashed into the fence near the Altamont Street exit. WSP said amazingly no one was hurt, but it certainly could have been, or very easily have been, a deadly outcome, they said. In the meantime, a new lawsuit from Seattle Public Schools is targeting social media giants for impacting student mental health. So we asked Spokane Public Schools how they are supporting students' mental health in and beyond the classroom.
It may not be always popular by saying, hey, let's put the phone up at 10 o'clock or so, whatever it might be. And then have time to sit down and talk about what are you seeing, what are you hearing, what are you interpreting as, what's appropriate, what's normal. And we do find that often our children struggle with what is, quote, normal or acceptable.
He says social media can certainly distort what kids and teens understand as normal, and it's best to be open with your kids when you feel they might be struggling. Finally, a key leader and council member from the Coeur d'Alene tribe died suddenly today. David Matheson was 71 years old. According to the CDA tribe, Matheson was a, quote, mover and shaker of incalculable proportions. He was the driving force behind construction of the CDA Casino and the Circling Raven Golf Club. He'll be remembered as a mentor, a visionary, and a loving husband and father. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000, and we'll send them directly to your phone. Well, footage from Brazil's capital shows damage done to the Supreme Federal Court by far-right protesters. Shattered glass and damaged furniture litter the floor of the court building. This just 2 days after rioters launched the worst attack on state institutions since the country's return to democracy in the 1980s. New video shows tonight the moment an Arizona driver was rescued by a helicopter that landed on his truck bed. Take a look. The driver was caught in fast-moving floodwaters. The rescue crews safely got the driver out of the truck and then flew him to the nearby command post. My goodness. Plus, the state of California has been plagued by storms over the past few weeks. Severe flooding has created multiple sinkholes, including one today you can see right here that swallowed 2 cars. So far, 17 people have died in the storms. There are still 50,000 people under evacuation orders, and more than 100,000 businesses and homes remain without power tonight. Well, in the meantime, the weather here has been on the mild side. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. And Jeremy, we woke up to kind of some fog and black ice this morning. Will that be the case again tomorrow morning?
Yep. We're just going to go ahead and hit the old repeat button as we get into the day tomorrow. You can even see some of that fog right now in downtown. Look at how cool the ice rink looks. Oh, skate ribbon looking pretty awesome, but temperatures hovering close to freezing, which means slick roads. We even have some of that patchy fog developing. Now, it depends on where you are. Visibility is still good in some locations, but as you can see, up in the Okanagan Valley, down in the Lewis and Clark Valley, already starting to see some of that form, and it's likely as we move through the morning, we get more fog. So we wake up to fog, might see a little bit of patchy wintry mix tomorrow before noon, and then temperatures on the rise the next few days as we get our next round of moisture moving in. Already starting to see some of that down to the south, and that is going to creep to the north overnight. I think early tomorrow we wind up seeing a little of that here in the inland northwest, and then it works its way out by the middle of the day, and then we're dry until our widespread round of showers moves in early Thursday morning. We'll walk you through that coming up in the full forecast.
Sounds good, Jeremy. I'll talk to you later in the broadcast. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time. But don't go to bed just yet. I am digging deeper into social media posts made by the Moscow murder suspect. Did they really come from the suspect himself? More on that coming up. Plus, Washington Governor Jay Inslee addressed the state of the state today, the issues he said were his top priority. We are back in just 90 seconds.